Hello again, everybody. So the title of this activity is called An Impossible Paper Trick. So what we're going to do is we are going to cut this piece of paper and do a couple flips to make kind of like an eye trick. You'll kind of get the gist of what I mean towards the end. But this is what we're going to do with this paper is an example of something called topology. So it's a math term. And it could get very complicated. If you've ever heard of a Mobius strip or ever made a Mobius strip in school or in math, you take a strip of paper and you turn it, you twist it, and you kind of tape it together, and it's like a continuous circle, and it's all about surface area. It gets a little complicated, but topology is like the math term for taking, in this example, a strip of paper, and we're not adding anything to it, we're not taking anything away from it. We might cut it, but we're not gonna cut a hole in it and take a piece away, where the surface area, which means the amount of paper we have, is still gonna be the same. So we'll talk a little bit more at the end about this, how it works and why it's a trick. So you're gonna start with a regular piece of printer paper, and you're gonna need some scissors. So the first thing we're gonna do is, you may have heard of this fold as hot dog style. We're gonna have the paper landscape or long ways, and we're gonna just fold it in half and put a crease in it. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're gonna open the paper back up, and then about halfway through, we're gonna make a cut up to the crease. Now you don't have to worry about measuring any of this. It doesn't have to be precise. We're kind of just gonna have to eyeball it. So all I did is make a cut and stopped at the crease. Then the next one, I'm just gonna flip it over. So that first cut is on the other side. And I'm gonna cut two more on the other side, again, cutting up from the edge, stopping at the crease, and I'm gonna do it in about thirds. So I'd say halfway between these two pieces and halfway between the other side. And again, no measuring required. We're just gonna kind of eyeball it the best that we can. Okay, so I have one cut on the other side and two cuts on this side. So if we keep the paper flipped how we originally started, so the two cuts facing away from you, we're going to take this side here on the right side and we're going to flip it. And sometimes I don't ever flip it the right way. So I think if we take the right side and take this top flap and turn it towards you like that, okay? So this is kind of the trick, and it might you might have that aha moment when you kind of realize why it's called a trick when you actually do it yourself. So the thing here is, it looks like we cut a piece of paper away from this side here. So you could see the paper I have underneath, we could see this void here. But when I flip this flap over to try and cover it up, I now have one over here. So it looks like I actually removed that rectangular piece of paper, but I really didn't. So that's why it's called topology, because we're keeping the same amount of paper we started from in the beginning, and we just made a cut and some twists and some turns, and it looks like I took something away, but I really didn't. So this piece of paper looks like it doesn't fit. Okay, half of it would go here, but then this other half should go here. But that's the trick here, is I can't keep both sides covered to make it back to the original full sheet of paper at all. So that's the trick. Like, where did this come from? You didn't cut it off another sheet of paper and tape it or glue it in the middle. That's the trick. Like, where did that other piece of paper go? And again, it's all about just twisting and cutting this piece of paper to make that trick happen. So there's lots of different paper tricks like this. So if you're interested in something like this and you really like it, it is physics based as well. It has a lot to do with physics, but a Mobius strip is another good one. Maybe that could be one we can try for next month. So it'd be nice if you did this, away from some of your family members, and then show them and say, oh, how did I make this work? Challenge them to see if they can figure it out. So I hope you have fun with this one.